number 33, sponsored by Ape Ashovi Performance Engines and B&H Racing Chassis, car number 33 from Canterbury, Connecticut, Ray Phillips.
So that is our field. Our first feature event of the afternoon is underway. Green flag from Mike Helberg. They rumble their way down into turns number 1 and 2. Patrick Donnellan in the Logan Steel 20 on the inside, trying to get a bite and some run down the backstretch. That is the 12 of Chasco there even. Right behind them, the race choice 44 of Harry Folino. And Folino almost took a look down low as they complete lap number 1. Donnellan, your leader.
20 cars, 25 laps of distance, 1 lap in the books, and right now pulling ahead is Patrick Donnellan in that number 20, but down the back straight, side by side for second place between Chasco and Folino. Folino, winning the heat race. Chasco was up inside the top 3 in his heat race. So a lot of fast cars up at the front of this field, but checking out your points battle here. Moran Jr. finds himself currently in 10th. Skinner is in 7th here, and PJ Childs in the 8th spot. A lot of drivers have to work their way up through traffic, and there's not much time here. 25 laps, and these cars are very evenly matched, Dave.
Well, Folino closing in on the leader, Donnellan, to try to capture the top spot. Bombard sits in that 3rd spot. He is surrounded by the enemy with Dave Chasco to the outside. Norm Sears to the inside as Sears will try to get a run down low on Bombard in the 3, and also trying to make that move stick in 1. I mean, in turns 3 and 4 is Folino in the double 4s.
Watching your points battle once again, Dave. Ben Castro mired outside the top 10, just jumping into the 10 spot this time. So just getting in the top 10 is Ben Castro in the 88, your points leader. But down the back straight, Folino gives one more try at Donnellan as they go into turns 3 and 4. May have a lead change coming back to the line this time.
And we'll see what Sears does, because he's not happy sitting in 3rd. He may try to make it 3 wide. They are able to shuffle off Donnellan. The battle for the lead now is Sears and Folino. Sears gets up to the 4. Shaking him off is Folino as they go down to turns number 3.
Donnellan stacks him up on the outside down the back straight. That's going to put everybody up 1 spot in the inside right. Greg Moran Jr. out into the 5 spot. Sideways up turn number 4. Oh, and he comes back in the middle of traffic. A huge melee on the front straightaway. Mainly unhurt, but the number 82, the number 02 is who goes around of Ryan Magliano. Dave, that could have been much, much more.
Nick Folino will lead him into the Russ Holly restart box. Norm Sears to his outside. We are underway. They run their way down into turn number 1. Folino on the inside, getting a serious challenge on the outside from Sears. Stacked up 2 by 2 behind them is Skinner. Sears goes to front. A little tap by Skinner to the bumper of Folino. That sends him sailing into 2nd. We have a yellow as we have an issue in turn number 2. That is the 85. Sears to his outside. They are in the Russ Holly restart box. We are back racing here at the speedball. Folino gets a little out of shape. Maybe spun the tires on the restart. That allows Sears to pull off by maybe a half colleague, a full colleague. Folino in free fall. He has Sean Skinner in the 24, working him over to the inside.
How does history repeat itself, Dave? That was so reminiscent of Todd Owen last night on the restart, getting passed by Andrew Moore on the outside and SK Modified. It just happened in the Super X cars as Norm Sears pulls to the front in that blue 38, but down the straightaway comes Sean Skinner now up to that 2nd spot, and there's PJ Childs into that 3 spot. He can play spoiler here. We're talking points. He doesn't care about points.
Well, the man who leads those points has moved into 4th. That is Ben Castro. Then it is the side-by-side duel between Bill Ryman in the 25. Folino trying to hang on for all he's worth on the outside in the 44. Then we have Bombard, Chasco, and the 58. Working the high side, that is Mark Schaefer. At the front, though, they're all chasing Norm Sears in the 38 as they go into turns 1 and 2.
As you mentioned with our points leader, Ben Castro, last lap by fastest car on the racetrack in that black and yellow and red number 88 car. But right now it's a 3-car breakaway. Childs leaning on the back bumper of the 24 of Skinner, side by the start-finish line. That was Sears by a nose, and there they go into turn number 1.
They clang their way through turns 1 and 2. New leader off 2. That is Sean Skinner. Now it is Norm Sears who's on the defensive. Trouble for the 7 of Trask. He spun around just before the start-finish line, and that necessitates a yellow flag.
We'll bring it to a halt what was getting to be action. Here we come to the Russ Holly restart zone in that orange paint on the outside of turn 4. Green flag is out. We're back to racing. Norm Sears gets the jump on the bottom. He will have his own lane in going into turn number 1. But here comes PJ Childs trying to follow him through and start this party. Little pop to the back bumper as we're side by side off turn 2. Skinner gets the drive down the back straightaway to be side by side in the 3.
The top two pulling away ever so slightly, but Childs and Castro reel them in. They go 2 by 2 with Ryman right behind them, the top 5. Jewel on for 6. Bombard tries to slice and dice his way underneath Paulino to capture the spot. We'll go back to the front. Half calling for Skinner as they whirly bird their way off the corner in turn 4.
You saw 3 wide down the back straight. That was going to be Dave Chasko in the sucker hole getting past left and right. He's going to fall outside the top 10 now. But check out the race up front as once again Skinner tries to get the drive off of turn number 2. He pulls ahead by half a car length going into turn number 3.
Some of the brand names of the Super X cars dueling it out here on a Sunday afternoon at the bowl. Your leader at the line is Sean Skinner. Hanging tough down low is the 38. That belongs to Norm Sears. Childs is in a battle with the points leader. Ben Castro is taking on the backstep. Ryman in tow. We are going to hit the halfway point this time by half a car length. Sean Skinner leads the pack.
Skinner tries to get the line off of turn number 4 once again, but no advantage again, and we still have your points leader boxed in of Ben Castro. Nowhere to go for the number 88 car, trying to get the drive off the outside. Once again, Skinner tries to pull ahead, and there he goes to the front as Sears can only settle in to second place. Race is for third with Childs and Castro. Again, points leader trying to run a conservative but aggressive race. Patiently aggressive is always a fine line to walk.
Well, I don't know if Sears is fighting that car, Jared, because he's had it where he's gotten in the way of a couple of guys and he's trying to hang on for dear life because he has Childs and Castro battling for spot behind him. We're down to the final 10. Sean Skinner leads the way looking to capture race number 2 on the season. Best battle on the track, that's third and fourth. Childs on the inside, the 31. Castro on the outside, the 88.
Falling back just a little bit, you saw Nick Paulino. You got to think that car was wounded after the incident before the caution flag, and he is free falling now down to the 10th position in the 44. He got bounced and grinded around a little bit off of turn number 2 last lap around. Still watching your leaders though. Sean Skinner trying to stretch out the points, trying to close in on the points lead here as Castro finds himself side by side for 4th. Here's Ryman challenging for that spot.
Well, if it stays the way it is right now, we will have by a hair a new points leader in Sean Skinner because Castro cannot escape the charge of William Ryman on the inside in that 25. Skinner is pulling away from the rest of the pack. Sears sitting in second. And then we have a scramble a little bit further back in the field. That looks like Mark Schaefer has gotten his way through the field. And the wounded 64 Moran trying to make up some time.
This is a gutsy drive. Moran Jr., he knows he has to take advantage of some of his competitors having trouble, but at this point you still have Skinner second in points out front. Trouble, and just as we mentioned, Schaefer and Moran, they go around in turns 1 and 2, and we have a pile-up at the bottom on the apron.
We're ready to go racing the final 8 circuits for our Super X main event. Skinner takes off like he was shot out of a cannon, following in his wake and Vortex, the 31 of P.J. Childs. Hot left high and dry as Norm Sears. Bombard is off the pace, way up high. The entire field gets by, going back to the front. Jewel on for third. Castro, a friendly nudge to the back bumper of Norm Sears.
That was a perfect restart. Sean Skinner got the jump, and it was a very clean and steady. But once again, P.J. Childs says, thank you very much, Sean, as he gets by Norm Sears for the second spot. Points leader Ben Castro still in the 4, but his closest competitor is Skinner, who would take a 2-point lead if they were to finish here, but Castro not done. Here he comes to the inside at 1 and 2.
So Castro trying to pick up a spot, make his way to the podium. Bombard successfully navigates the 10 to the infield, down to the final 5. Skinner, your leader, pedaling as hard as he can to try to catch up as P.J. Childs in the 31. Behind them it is Sears. Sears under attack. Castro gets into him, sends Sears sailing around in a cloud of smoke. Everybody now at the final time piles in to a helpless 38 of Norm Sears. Super X-Car main event. Sean Skinner is your leader when we go back to green.
Green flag is out one more time. Mikey Helberg flicks the wrist, and off we go into turns 1 and 2. P.J. Childs with his first breath of fresh air out in front, tries to get the bite off the top of turns 1 and 2. Stack up from 4th on back. That was the 25 of Will Ryman that almost went around, and they all sorted out going in turn 3, side by side with 4 laps to go. Advantage at the line, nobody.
So the two black cars tethered together for turns 1 and 2. Right behind them, ready to pounce, is Ben Castro and the 88. They streak their way down the backstretch into turn number 3. Ryman has got the 25 back going forward again. Check out Greg Moran! Just as I was going to say, Moran comes marching through the pack, gets into the back of Magliano at the front. Skinner has moved in front, leads the pack. Here comes Castro, trying to Xerox the move. They'll have 2 laps to go.
2 laps to go as you see side by side number 2 as Ben Castro tries to get there behind his points competitor Sean Skinner. Drive of the day has to be Moran from lap twice and 1 spot away from the top 5. We have a lap and a half to go as they go under the Beamer sign and under the scoreboard. White flag coming out this time, Dave.
Sean Skinner looks pretty safe for now as they come off the corner and they'll be greeted by the white flag. Duel on for 2nd and 3rd. Childs on the outside. Castro to the inside. Castro trying to leverage his way underneath and get the 2nd spot away from the 31 of Childs. Down into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Off the corner. Your winner is going to be Sean Skinner. The 31 of P.J. Childs is able to outlast the 88 of Ben Castro. In 4th, it's Bill Ryman.
Unofficially, you're now in a tie for the points lead. How do you feel after winning 25 laps today, taking it home again today at the Bowl?
Yeah, it was a hot one out there. I didn't think that race would ever end. But man, first I just want to shout out my girlfriend for coming down. She's a huge support. Couldn't do it without her. But yeah, that was an exciting race. Car was really good. I was just waiting for it to finish.
Anybody would like to thank you for another fantastic effort today?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my dad. We hooked this car up again. It was a car to beat. So Uncle Cranky's Cafe, the Hilton Garden Inn, Preston, my mom, my Nana and Papa, Uncle Steve, my sister Leona, and just everyone, man. It's a full team effort.